All right. Oh, yes, you are on time. I'm the one who's late. Man, I'm pretty late today. I gotta get on the good foot, man. You know? All right, brethren, Nazarene, Elijah, Mahalia, thank you. Thank you for joining me on my videos. I'm late. So let me get started. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality, another opportunity to bless my brethren, my fellow brethren, my faithless brethren and sisters. I pray that you give me wisdom, knowledge, understanding on my video, that you'll anoint me that I may be able to say something to my brethren that might encourage them, bless them, help us to walk our spiritual walk in patience and endurance. Help us to learn so that when our time is up, that we can reach our highest level of ascension, that we can go to our highest level of blessing. And while we're in this reality, to redeem the time to the fullest. So help me, Creator, to say things that glorify you and will bless my brethren. All right, brethren, my name is Jacob and Israel. Thank you for joining me. Still trying to get my screens set up while I'm talking. And this is the channel where I have to admit, man, it's not for everybody. This is not a channel for everybody. I realize that not everyone is into spirituality. It has no value in this reality. And this sounds kind of harsh to say that, but more and more as I live and observe, it seems that more and more people are being swallowed up by the vicissitudes of life, just trying to live. I don't blame anybody. I don't come down on anybody. I feel blessed that the Creator, and I feel good for all you brethren who are able to be spiritual. I mean, to a point, I don't mean just any old kind of way. I mean, it's something where it's deeper with you, brethren, in the sense that, and I think that's why the Creator has chosen you to come into this thing, this word, the OAHSPE. This channel ain't for everybody, man. And I don't recommend this channel to And I meant it the other day. The sister, she came on and made a prophecy about this channel blowing up. It's a weird thing. I really hope it doesn't, because I don't know why I feel that way. I don't know, maybe it just has something to do with liking to be a part of a small fellowship of brethren. I think I feel that way because it seems like it's always that way. Anything that is really right and true has never been very big in history. And it's always been like the little guy trying to, David Goliath type of thing. So it seems that, the smaller the group, the more, well, I don't want to confuse anybody, but it seems like I can't look at a bunch of people and then think in my mind that, I mean, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say what I'm saying, but it just seems like we live in a reality. It's a lot of people in this reality, and it seems like there's hardly no witness for the creator. And you look at the major religions and they're real big and they cover the earth. And I think that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, that when things blow up like that, then it's a good opportunity for corruption to come in, good opportunity for dissension, for division. But when you're like the underdog, it's like it's easier to stay together. It's easier to know one another. It's easier to uh, be relatable to one another. You know what I mean? You get to know people and smaller, that sort of thing. But it ain't my program. It's the creator's program. Again, I realize that the things that we believe, it ain't the thing of the world. Now, I'm gonna do a video today called "HADAN Slaves," and it covers a couple of things, and that's where we are. This reality, the earth and the atmosphere above the earth, is referred to as Haden, the Haden fields, Haden. And so I'm going to touch on that. Fritz! 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 Brother? Fritz! Flit, 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 rips. Fritz! Good to see you, brother. Happy birthday again to you a couple days ago. Thanks for coming in, brother. So, I don't know. It's a creative program, I know that when you read the OAHSPE, he is going to blow up the thing. He said that this earth, talking about what we talked about, this little room right here, and other members, that this word is going to, and I believe it, that's another thing. Not all men have faith. And you just have to have something. I mean, from what I can see, the creator, he just puts something in you that make you be able to, I don't know how to describe it, because we've all been a part of something, one time or another, and thought that this was the right way to go, only to find out that we were deceived. See, that's a hell of a thing, man. But as long as you learn, talking about what I've learned, man, this is my highest light that I'm just trying to share. I've been deceived, man, but I've learned. It's like, hey, if you get beat up, it's cool. It's all right. As long as you learn, you know what I mean? If you learn something from it, I think that's wisdom. I think the creator, you feel the same way. But if you keep making the same mistake over and over, and I think he gives us time to learn. But this type of learning, when you talk about spirituality and you were deceived, I mean, I can look back and the OAHSPE, it helps me to see how definitely I was deceived. You see what I'm saying? Definitely, you were deceived. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if I were to go one by one, I would talk about my journey in Christianity, you know, the problems with it, being part of different groups. And some groups, they were all right, but why did I leave them? Because you just seem to get to this point where, I mean, so far as those other groups, I just couldn't feel it. I mean, I just couldn't, I, I, I felt like I was involved in religion. I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but it was too many of the same people, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? In Christianity, it's too many of the same people under different names. And I think that was the question I had back then that I couldn't express like I am today. It was just something where it just, it wasn't, it couldn't reach me. You know what I mean? It could not reach me when I was in Christianity and I was searching. And then the next big jump that came was the Hebrew Israelites. And all this was over the course of I really started picking up. I mean, wanting to sow to the Spirit. I would say in my late 40s. And I didn't, like my uncle said, hit my stride until my middle 50s. I mean, at that time, I came out of Christianity. I went to the Hebrew Israelites and stayed there for a number of years. And I loved it being with the Israelites because they made me feel like their doctrine is when the time is said and done, when we're going to turn around and kick our oppressors' ass. And we were going to have our enemies get a piece of the pie in America as a black man. If you don't make it in America as a Negro and you get a doctrine that comes along and empowers you, that's like sweet weed, man. That's like drugs. When you see the power it give you over people, how you can almost make people tremble, how you can get back at your enemy. That's a sweet, sweet feeling, brother. That's a thick drug when you can look your enemy in the eye and put the fear of God in them. And you tell that to a Negro who ain't got his piece of the pie in this reality and he looking for something to prop him up and let him you see the strength of the Israelite doctrine. You see it now. It empowers the Negro. The only problem is it's not true. It's unfaithful to the Creator. But it felt good when I was in it, man, because you can just, I mean, the power can be very corrupting. And you can really do some damage to people's minds when you swing that sword. And so, Creator got me out of it. And then, in order to get brought out of that, it has to be real, the power, but it's got to also be a clear distinction between what is light and what is darkness. So when you see that you are harming people, remember when the brother Daryl Cosman came in the other day, or it was a little while back, and he showed us. I asked a question like, "How do you know when the Creator is approving of what you do?" And then the brother came on and he gave a scripture. He pointed to, I forget where it's at, where he said in the OAHSPE, you get your answer by how people react to you. Now, sometimes the way they react to you is justified, but then there are other times it's not justified. And you have to discern and examine yourself as to whether you're at fault or whether, they're at fault. So, but when you get when, you're the fruits of what you are doing harm to another person, you should be able to conclude that you're not doing the will of the Creator. That's what the Hebrew Israelites, they should be able to conclude. You're not doing the will of the Creator, man. Even if you just sat down and thought about it, your doctrine, it cannot perpetuate itself. It can't, because when you have that division and a house divided cannot stand, you can't you can't make it. When you have that type of vibration on you where you want revenge, and I mean, at some point you're going to have infighting. I mean, and I don't mean to come down on the Hebrew Israelites. I'm just talking about when you come out of deception, and you can learn about the fruits of the things that you did, whether or not the Creator is approving of it or not. Now, very simply, I'm saying the Hebrew Israelite doctrine is destructive. Destructive, man. If you brethren remember GMS when they first started blowing up I imagine they've been around since the 60s, but they started getting hot, man. When the internet, white people, and nobody could, I mean, they really blew up the internet with that spirit. But it was because of the controversy that it was bringing. And so it's very attractive, but they don't look at the fruit of the results of what they are saying and what they are doing. And it's amazing how they cannot see the most basic of the Creator's character, in the sense that He created everything. And it's just like parents who have children. The parents will tell you not to fight your brother or your sister. And if we all come from the Creator, and then you can easily see in your doctrine, in talking about the Bible, where you see the example of Jesus Christ and the concept of fruits of the Spirit and love and this and that, you should be able to deduce. I mean, I guess I shouldn't assume that they'll be able to see things the way you see it. But there's some things that you should be able to tell right off the bat is better than other things. And that's, to me, coming from darkness to light. When you hear the OAHSPE talk about the brotherhood of men, talking about doing right by when really, it's like you can say, what type of world do you want to live in? Do you live in the type of world where there's bloodshed all over the place? You serving the God, it sounds like He can't wait to get a hold of you so He can break your neck. Or do you want to be in a place where you could wake up, go outside, and there's a block party going on every day, all the time, in the most beautiful reality that you could ever think of, and it only gets better day after day after day? Now, I know that sounds like fairy tale, but you know what? You talk about the OAHSPE Bible, because that's the way that's what we are headed for. And it's like, you brethren, it's like the Creator is saying, we just getting started now, working on our character, working on, operating in our highest light, knowing that we want to ascend, wherever we land, we want it to be the highest possible. I want to be way, way up there ahead, wherever, if I possibly can. Not to put anyone else down, but if the Creator is saying that I got this reality, I'm giving it to you. It's a one-time deal. You ain't coming back to the earth. Well, some Druidian spirits, they can get sent back by false gods in order to bring more spirits into false kingdoms, false gods' kingdoms. But so far as our being born and coming back in these bodies again. Nah, it's a one-time deal, man. After we do our stint, our time here on the earth, after that, you're in the spirit, brother, forever. And you're in the spirit. From what I can see, you're in the spirit forever then. It's just like Sister Jamia be talking about, onward and outward from then on. Onward and outward from then on. And for faith, brethren, it's all good. It's all good. But for brethren who cannot subscribe to this sort of thing, I mean, just, my channel, the creator is really helping me to crystallize what this channel is going to be all about. It's a few things. I want to turn it over to brethren. I want brethren to come and have fellowship, come and talk to one another. It's a channel to warn about deity worship. It's a channel to encourage, I sat down and thought about it. I had like five principal things that this channel is pretty much all about and what I want it to be about. It's about emphasizing the type of character that the creator seems to keep talking about. Learning how to treat your brother who is everybody. Hey, Dave, brother, thank you. Onward, upward, and outward. Yeah, onward, upward, and outward. So, how, and one of the big things that I see in the OAHSPE is how you treat your brother. How you treat your brother. And I would say that trumps even the knowledge that you have. So that's another thing that this channel seems like the creator is really putting on. I seem to talk about the same things all the time. So instead of fighting it and trying to find new things and to keep on, rebranding myself, I think it's time for at least me to realize that I have certain things on the vibration that I'm under that I think the creator wants me to keep talking about. And I think he leaves it to me to what type of flavor I'm going to put on the principles that he's put in my mind, the things that he always wants me to talk about. I think he provides me with pencil and paper or crayons, and he lets me decide what color crayons I want to use to write on the paper, which is this channel. So I look at it. I think when you under sincerity and truth, when you realize, if you really believe, that these things are true, and, afterlife and opportunity, elevating your spirit, and it's all good, and then I don't see no reason in wasting time. So that's, where, this channel and where I'm coming from. I talk pretty much about the same things all the time. The creator, he gives me grace to just flavor a different way. But pretty much the principles are the same. That there's danger in worshiping the deity, that our character is important, that the way the creator will answer us is the response that we get from people about, knowledge is important too. Knowledge is important. And how, our character. So it's like those are like the major principles of this video. Try to get brethren to talk to one another, to interact with one another, to share if at all possible, and to just esteem brethren, help us on this road, this journey. And we living in this, so we're outnumbered, man. I came across, matter of fact, here's my Facebook room. Okay. My Facebook room, I want to introduce you to my mom's food ministry where if I ever hear of an orphan or a disabled or a elderly and they have food needs, I most certainly can be contacted to help. I certainly can be. I just can. And so I'm also part of other rooms that I recommend before my room. I recommend these rooms before my room. Here's the brothers' room, the Omian's room, OAHSPE College. I got the links in the description box. Here's another room where I like to I share with all three rooms. I like to read and then I like to share. I love trying to find things, man. With the OAHSPE, it's a real trip, man. Because I see something and then I love it. And then the problem is that I'll try to get better understanding reading. Like I'll hit a verse and then I'll love it. And then I'll read the next verse and then I'll love that. And then the next verse I love, and then I forget about the first one that I wanted to share. And it's like it's the most amazing thing, man. And I be trying to stop myself from sharing, and you know, and that's how I know that the other, like the things I was a part of before, was a big deception. I was under a deception, man. And I say largely because of the fruit that it was producing. You see, Mahal says, for me, I'm aware of what I have to clean up when I sin. Yeah, I think he's speaking for all of us, and also try not to add more to clean up. Yeah, see, you got a way of expressing yourself, Mahalia. You do pretty good at getting to the meat. You get to what's a good phrase for saying to get to the meat of a matter. You know, you cancers are pretty. Some cancers sometimes have an odd way of speaking, but they have the ability to make their point into what they saying. I've noticed about them more with the men than the women. You sometimes like I could talk about Mike Tyson all day long, but he uses so many cuss words. It's hard to you know. He has the way of speaking, and he's a cancer, right? But he got a way of speaking, man, where you get the point, and he can also do it funny and but he can strike home. Sagittarius, they have that gift too, and Pisces too. Actually, they got this ability that you know they can hit home with you. You know, you see, Elijah says, "So I speak full of great truth. You can't get enough." Yeah, that's what I see. That's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to say right there. See, now I got to share both of what y'all said. OAHSPE is full of great truth. You can't get enough of it, but most of all, creator, yeah, endless truth. Can you imagine the creator, man? And the hunger for creator is truly endless. Yeah, that's the only thing that, it scared me one time that I said, man, can he keep doing this? Can he keep this up? Because I'm going to wear him out. In other words, I'm a know-it-all. And then what am I going to do? I recall actually saying that when I got the OAHSPE, and I said, hey man, what about after this when I learn all of it? Then what? Can he keep it up? I was really thinking that type of stuff, insecure like that. And it's like, of course he can. He can keep us going to the end of 10 lifetimes, man, encouraging us. And then he said, Dave said, pretty soon you'll be posting whole chapters on Brother Obi's pages. I know I'm already close, But what I like to do, since I got this AI now, I like to do a verse breakdown. See, that's what that's what the AI gives you. It does a verse breakdown. See, sometimes when you read OAHSPE, Some brethren they need to hear the verses a different way. Like there's a phrase in the world where people say, in other words, like they say, like, in other words, this, and they rephrase it. And I'm like that. It's like, I, you know, I like it when you say what you say to me another way. Like, okay, you say it, and I'm saying, I don't get it, man. Say it another way or something. And then I combine what you said with what you rephrased, and it gives a clearer picture. It gives a more, you know what I mean? And so that's what, with the AI now, I can give a verse, right? Now, it's up to the brother and sister to make sure it's to, you know what I mean, to decipher it. Because AI is not always right, and I like to use different AI engines so I can compare and see which one is you know, which one, do I like better? And I compare them, I like to compare them. Because, like I said, when I first started, I thought, oh man, the AI, it don't make mistakes because it just go off of the same source material, but it do. It do. And you gotta ask it like specific type of, you gotta talk machine talk to it. It don't assume, you know what I mean, that it know what it don't it you can't assume it knows what you mean, but still, it's an amazing gift from the Creator. It's an amazing gift, man, because anything that will help a brother, I think is good, man. I think, it's like being, if you had the knowledge to cure any disease in the world, do you think you would go to sleep in the world? You know what I mean? You see, and I know people are really like that in heart, man. If they had, like, you could touch and heal, and I know there are people who can do that. I'm sure. I believe that. If that was me, brother, I would never sleep. I would never. If I'm like this with the OAHSPE, imagine with the spiritual power. You know, I live right next to San Francisco, and man, I could take you to some places. You know, don't you know that there are people that'll squat right? You know what I mean by squat? Go to the bathroom right in front of you. They ain't got no other place to do it. That's how low humanity has gotten over there. Go on your video and look at the Tenderloin. Type in San Francisco Tenderloin. Look at the videos, man, and tell me I'm lying, And they got mental problems. You know what I'm saying? Now, personally, I think that's what the Creator is going to do for faithists. Now, call me, somebody correct me, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that we are going to get power from on high, and that's going to bring the light. It's going to bring the hey, Bronze Yogi, brother. I was minded to listen to your video. The brother did a rap video. It was good. It was not. It's real smooth, man. I like looking at that thing. And I went to look at it, and then I got distracted like I always do. So I'm glad you showed up, because after the video, then I can, look at it some more. I would dance if I could, but I'm in a power chair. Good to see you though, bro. But you know what I mean? If we had that ability, then and I think that, I don't know, y'all tell me, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, man, but in y'all best understanding, are we supposed to get that type of power on the world? Will the Creator give that to us? You know, are we being tested right now to see if we can handle it? I mean, it sounds like the Creator, when He tests you, it's like to see if you can hold it. You know what I mean? I mean, to see if you can handle it. And I know that somehow, I don't know. I need to study the OAHSPE and see when we're going to, if we're going to receive power from on high. Will it be us? Will it be a later generation? And is that the plan of the Creator? See, Dave, he says, yep, the AI program is great for breaking down verses, and most usually is correct, but not always. Yeah, you got to watch it, man. In creating alternate differentiations for understanding OAHSPE. Yeah, I think it's an incredible blessing, man. I really do. I also agree with Brother Omian, where he said that there could be. I envision that the elite, the powers that be, that they could possibly think to use it for manipulation purposes, even to distort the truth of the OAHSPE Bible. Personally, I don't see how you can do that, because basically the Creator, He gives you like a template. I was going to talk about this the other day, but the brother came in the room and we got off track. And well, not off track. It was good that I was glad he came in. But I do believe that when you have a tool like this, that the powers that be, power hungry as they are, and the OAHSPE said that they're going to fight us, as gods and lords and false gods, and to the death. They're going to fight us to the death. So now the Creator, this thing, He's allowed it to come along. It blows up the light. It gives you the opportunity to study. Now you can study, research. I mean, you can really get yourself built up, man, because this is an explosion. But then, just like with any good thing that comes, even the Bible says that the Creator made man upright, but man has sought out many inventions, meaning he will seek to manipulate something, in order for his kingdom to perpetuate itself. So we got to watch for that. But the template of the Creator is so easy, because it calls for us to do things that you can't corrupt the teaching of working on your character, doing good by your brethren, examining yourself. Let me see, she says, I don't think the Creator tests us. He gives us truth to keep learning. Yeah, but I think, what I mean when I say test us is that, I hear what I can agree with that, actually. Test us. Yeah, that might not sound right. Let me see. Let me chew on it for a second. What am I saying? Because when I look at the OAHSPE, I don't now that I think about it, I don't seem to. In the Bible, it does. It talks about that. It talks that way. Let me see. Bronze Yogi says, see, Mahal, you said, we will never stop learning and ascending. Yeah, I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. And then Bronze Yogi says, I can't remember where it's at, but there's a script that says Creator takes us through things to make. Oh. You know what? That's a good point. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yes. That's the reason for trials. Here, see, now we can ask AI a question. Let's ask AI a question together. See? See? Now we can bring in AI, and let's see. See, now it shut down now my computer don't want to work. I don't even know if I can be heard. Okay, gave it back to me. See, now let's look at AI. See, the brother is giving us the opportunity to ask it a question. See? Now let's look at AI. See, see, that's what I mean. You can just spend hours, man, just talking with yourself, but you got the OAHSPE to help you to frame your thoughts. You see, and the Creator says that all inspiration to you, it comes through Him. It comes through Him, man. You know. Now let me ask AI a quick question here. My question is going to be this: what does the OAHSPE Bible say about trials of the unbeliever? Or oh, I messed it up. Shoot. Okay, everybody, hold on a second. Now I got to erase that. Got to erase all that and then ask it again. And hey, y'all, I don't have to do the reading, man. If y'all want to turn this into like a question, a talking session, that's what I cherish. If y'all want to bring something up, what does the OAHSPE Bible have to say about trials of the believers? The FITHIS. Yes. Okay. Here. I'm gonna share this in the room so we can read it easier. But see, usually, I would like to proofread it. But let me do this. I'm gonna put it in one of the rooms so we can read it easier. So let me see. I'm gonna put it in my room. Put it in my room. Now the question is, we're talking about trials and the purpose of them. So let's look at it together. I'm not looking at the screen right now. I will in a second. Let me just bring this up, and then I'm gonna go back to the chat. Okay. Let's see. So I think y'all can see that, right? Yeah. Oh, okay, y'all posted something. Dave says, see, Brian Yogi said, let no man shirk from the trial. Oh, you already got the reference. Okay. I'm putting so. He says, let no man shirk from the trials I put on him. I put upon him. For in doing so, he robs his own soul. Oh! So the Creator is saying he brings trials upon us. All right. And then Dave says, yes, at times the Creator does test us to see if we can attempt to maintain his standards during times of darkness or if an unforeseen event occurs. Okay. Now, here is what the AI says. I'm just curious. Can somebody give me one if you can see the screen okay? Can you see the screen? Can somebody say, type one? Can you see what I'm doing with the screen? I'm scrolling it. I know you probably can, but can you tell me somebody type one if you can see me, if you can see the screen going up and down? Okay, you can? All right, thanks. See, oh shoot, I gotta close the curtain. That's the problem right there. Let me close the blind. Okay, I got it. All right, thanks, Brian Yogi. All right, so y'all can see that. Good, good. All right, now the question was what does OAHSPE Bible have to say about trials of the believers, the faithists? Now, see, y'all can agree with this or not. Just because they say it, it don't mean that you have to believe it. You don't have to. You don't have to see this. You know, but it does help you to think. That's what I like. Now, it says the OAHSPE text highlights the trials faced by the faithists. It says, emphasizing their commitment to peace and good works amidst a world often characterized by conflict and hardship. Here's what the text reveals. Okay, then it says, trials of faith. The faithists are described as a minority group, often facing persecution and hardship. They are portrayed as peaceful individuals who practice non resistance and return good for evil, even in the face of adversity. Okay. Then it says internal conflicts. The text mentions internal conflicts within the faithists, particularly in Arabia, where now Arabia is, shoot, I forget. Isn't that Africa? Arabia. It says where two branches existed, those who followed the oral law and those who followed the written law. This suggested internal struggles and disagreements within the community. Now, external threats. The text warns of impending wars and the potential for persecution from idolaters who are described. Okay, so this is mentioning different types of trials. See, y'all can read that. The types of trials. Now, I'm going to read the conclusion. It says, overall, the OAHSPE text presents the faithists as a group that faces significant trials, but ultimately finds strength and purpose through their faith and commitment to a higher idea. Their journey is a testament to the power of faith in the face of adversity and the importance of living a life of righteousness and love. Yeah, I'm with this. I think we do get tested. The trials of our faith, I think because of the fruit it bears, you see it even in the world. People will test each other to test their love for one another. You know, girls do that a lot, or maybe not a lot, but I know I've seen it because I've been through it. I didn't know what was going on, but I have seen it. You know, maybe not a lot, but I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in other lives. So it kind of confirms what it's like. Life confirms, the OAHSPE Bible in this case. I mean, it's the other way around, really. But okay, let me see. Book of Knowledge. Bronze Yogi says Book of Knowledge. I'm gonna go to that. And then Dave says maybe you should ask AI why the creator tests us. Okay. Let's ask it why does the creator test us? Thanks, Dave. I'm gonna go to that first, Bronze Yogi. I'm gonna go to that first. So let's ask it why does the creator test us? Now I'm going to be looking at the chat, but I'm expanding the screen when I'm asking a question. So it says, why does the creator test the faithists? Okay, it says, all right, let me put it in the room so we can see it more easier. Let me put it in my room so we can see it more easier. I'm not looking at the chat, so just bear with me for a second. Okay. All right. Now I'm back in the chat now, so I can see the chat. Make sure you can see the screen. Okay. So it says Dave's question is, why does the Creator test the faith? And it says the text suggests that the Creator tests the faith is for a few reasons. Okay, to refine their spiritual growth. Now, see, here's a mistake right here. See that? Y'all see that? That's not right. See? That's why you got to, even though it's AI, you got to watch it. You got to watch it, man. You know, that's not right. That's one of the main mistakes they keep making. But let's see what the rest of the text, let's see what the rest of it says to see if we can receive it. It says the Creator wants to help the faithful develop their spiritual strength and wisdom. Okay, I can get with that. I can agree with that. Testing them through challenges and trials allows them to grow. Okay. And their understanding of the Creator's power and their own potential. All right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. To demonstrate the Creator's power. All right. I can get that. The Creator's power is evident in the faith's ability to overcome. Okay, yeah. Overcome challenges and remain steadfast in their faith. Their trials serve as a testament to the Creator's presence and guidance to distinguish them from others. Reason for why you're tested. Distinguish them from others. The Creator uses trials to separate the true faiths from those who merely claim to be followers. Those who remain faithful through adversity demonstrate their genuine commitment to the Creator's teachings. All right, that sounds good to me. So far, I sound good. To say the text emphasizes that the Creator tests are not meant to punish or destroy, but rather to refine and elevate the faithful. Through these trials, they are ultimately meant to become stronger, wiser, and more capable of serving the Creator's purpose. Okay. I like that. Now let's see what Brother Yogi, let's go to his scripture. OAHSPE chapter or book 37. So let's Brother Yogi's scripture. Book of Knowledge. Book of Knowledge. Book of Knowledge, chapter 37. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm not looking at the screen so I can. Book of. Oh. Book of Knowledge. Go back and see Book of Knowledge. Book 37. All right. Book 37, chapter. Book 37, chapter 2. All right. Book 37, chapter 2. Okay, here we go. Book of Knowledge, chapter 37, verse 2, verse 25. It says, for a man to try. Oh, yep, there you go. That's a good one. There you go, brother. Let me make it bigger so we can see it. Yeah, that's nice. For man, the trials of the flesh are like nutriment. It's like nutriment for his spirit. There you go, right there. And yet do not think you should rejoice in your neighbor's trials, saying it is good for his spirit's growth. But as Jehovah gave all he had and thus made all things, be like Jehovah and give to man in trial, lest you rob yourself. Well, there you have it. But the Creator, he does give us tests. He does try us. It says right there in the book of knowledge, chapter 2, verse 25. It says, you do not know how far you yourself have been lifted up. Can any man with his own hands lift himself up in the air? Do not flatter yourself then. That man alone can lift himself up in spirit. That's nice. That's nice reasoning. We need help. Can you do it yourself? All right, then. Let him help you. How? By giving you trials. Do not flatter yourself then that man alone can lift himself up in the spirit, or that he has power to evolve himself one generation above another, or that he has power to evolve himself one generation above another. Do all nations not perish? As they come up out of darkness, do they not go down in darkness? Think then, how does man advance? That's a good, think about it, man. Is it wise to be dissatisfied with Jehovah? Saying, oh, Jehovah, why did you do this? Why did you not do this? Are you importuning? Will not turn Jehovah or his plans one time? He says, all your importuning. Okay, so we go to the footnote. All of your persistent and repeated requests, your insistent pleading. He says, all your insistent requests and your endless pleadings will not turn Jehovah or his plans one tiny fraction. Turn your eyes inward then, O Te. Remember, Te is us. And seek to adapt yourself to the Father and his kingdom, so which this earth is one. Man, oh man. I love it, man. It's not for, what's the old saying? You shouldn't try to change God. God should let God change you, or there's some saying. So there's a template right there, Learn to be pliable, mutable, changeable, adaptable. Don't be set in your own ways. Don't be locked into only your own way. People they require flexibility in order to deal with them. You can't just deal with everybody the same way. It's the Creator. He wants us to be flexible. He wants us to adapt myself. He says to adapt myself to the to the Father and his kingdoms, of which this earth is one. So you got this kingdom where you have to adapt, man. You just can't have it your way. You have to compromise on this earth. See, he always talking about dealing with people, man. He giving us a template right there. You see, that's what he seemed to be saying, don't it? Tay said, how can I comprehend your wisdom, O Father in heaven? I am tripped up at every corner. And yet I perceive that my generation is wiser than the ancients. What purpose then did you stir me up? The ancients found joy in an idol, were content to eat and sleep, their faith being equal to their wisdom. But those who come after cried out to you for wisdom, and you gave, and so I am born above the faith of the ancients. I've grown beyond the measure of your old revelation. My soul cries out to you for more light. So we originally looked at this for verse 25. For men, the trials of the flesh are like nutriment. So the Creator, He do try us. Yeah, it only makes sense, man. To better us. What good are you unless you've been tried? You've been through, the world, the same principles in the world. You go to school, you got to take tests to see if you comprehend what was being taught. You have to be tried. If you want to play a sports, you got to try out to see if you have what it takes. So the same principles in the world. That's interesting. So, see, it's time for the reading. The name of the video is HADAN. HADAN. And you know what? I clicked off of my information for HADAN too. I clicked all my information for HADAN off. I clicked all my information for HADAN off. I clicked all my information for HADAN off. Shoot. Okay, but that's all right. Basically, HADAN is the earth and the atmosphere above the earth. All right. Basically, that's what HADAN is. HADAN is the earth and the atmosphere above the earth. Let me bring it up on AI. And it also goes into what happens to people who worship false gods, and how basically it's not good. So I got to start from scratch. Let me see. Doggone it. What are the HADAN fields according to the OAHSPE Bible? Wow. Let me see. Now, while I was looking for that, I'm going to go to my room. I'm going to my room and look at some verses because I know I have some verses on HADAN. And what I want to bring out, I'll tell you a point. My point is that, and you can already know it, if at all possible, we don't want to go to HADAN. Okay? It's for idolaters. Number one. I do remember that. It's for idolaters. Now, and it is what's a good word for unpleasant? The HADAN fields, HADA in the OAHSPE, HADA. We can look at some verse quick too about it. That's where another thing that I understand is that's where worshipers go. That's where religious, like Christians, they go to HADA. So I clicked off of all my information, man. So Let me bring up some verses on HADAN. Okay, I can share real quick what the AI has given me. So basically, man, this is a place we don't want to be, okay? This is not a place that we want to be in. Because the false gods, this is like their domain. I'm not looking at the chat right now, so I want to post what the AI gave me in my room so we can all see it. So let me do my thing first. I'll be back in the chat. All right, let's post it. So this is definition of HADAN according to the AI. So, okay, there it is. So now I'm going to go back in the chat. Okay, so HADAN. What are the HADAN fields according to the OAHSPE Bible? And this is what it gives us. It says the OAHSPE Bible describes the HADAN fields as the lower heaven, or the intermediate world, atmosphere, between the earth and the ethereal heaven. This is the realm where spirit. Well, I now that I think about it, I think we all go to the HADAN fields. Now that I think about it, because from there faith is ascend to the etherean, the higher realms. If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But we all go, at least start off in the HADAN fields, but the false gods are also there. And from what I see, they punish their people. But I think the purpose is different in the HADAN fields for faithists. Let's see if we can find out. It says the OAHSPE Bible defines the HADAN fields as the lower heaven, or the intermediate world between the earth and the ethereal heaven. This is the realm where spirits reside after death, undergoing purification and preparation for the next stage of their spiritual journey. It says the text specifically mentions that the HADAN fields palled. Let's see what the definition of that word is, palled. The HADAN fields palled, which means it's a past tense verb, which means spend time with a friend. Let's see if we can find something different. Definition of Paul is past tense of Paul, as in subscribed, to grow less in scope or intensity, especially gradually. Okay, so they digressed. The HADAN fields, it says, if I can get back to it, it says the HADAN fields, they what's a good word for diminished before the touch of Jehovah's hand? Okay, yeah, let's use that word. The text specifically mentions that the HADAN fields, they diminished before the touch of Jehovah's hand, suggesting a darkening or a decline in spiritual life. Is that right? Before the touch of Jehovah's hand, suggesting a darkening or decline in spiritual life. Yeah, that's right. That's right. This was due to the influence of Satan, who had bound his name in mortals and sought to banish the worship of the Great Spirit. The HADAN fields are not a physical location, but rather a spiritual state, a place of transition, and purification. It is a realm where spirits are tested and prepared for their eventual ascent to the ethereal heaven. Now, it says, if we do look at different words, HADAN, HADA, then we're going to learn that also it's a place of false gods. So let's look at some words. Let's do a quick word study. And let's see. Let's look at some words. Let's look at HADA. Now, it's a place where, now correct me if I'm wrong, someone correct me if I'm wrong, where we all go. And it's like a different purpose for faithists than it is for the believers in the beast kingdom. Now, I could be wrong, but let's find out. Let's learn together. It says, now I'm going to do a word study here. I'm going to look at different verses to see if we can get some good understanding. Here, I don't know what book it is. It says, Father of worlds, Jehovah Almighty, your son and servant has heard your voice. Behold, my head is bowed, my knee bent to rush forth with a force of 1 billion to the suffering earth and hated. So, the book of is going to go forward into Hada to deliver people there. Hey, Sinat. Hey, sister. I hope you got back on. I hope y'all power's back on. I have to tell you, you really glorified the Creator yesterday. You really, really glorified the Creator yesterday. You really, you blessed my soul tremendously, man. I'll share with y'all what I'm talking about real quick. The sister was dealing with the brother who came in. What's his name? Michael came in. And what you said about Revelation 14:7 was really a knockout. It was really a knockout for me. Matter of fact, it'll be worth it, brethren, for me to go back there and look at how the Creator, he really used the sister to share this information with us. Let's look at this together. Revelation 14:7. The angel said in a loud voice, fear God, give him glory. The time has come to judge. Worship the one who made heaven, earth, and sea. Don't you know that's the OAHSPE right there? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, man. I never see. Is that, somebody tell me in the chat, what does OAHSPE mean? Will somebody tell me in the chat, what is the literal meaning of OAHSPE, for the glory of the Creator? I'm not going to budge this video until somebody tell me what is the definition of OAHSPE Nope, you missing one. You missing one. What is the definition of OAHSPE? You missing one, sister. What is the full definition of OAHSPE? There it is right there. You real close to detention, ASNAP. You should have got that one. You like to walk on the wild side. I noticed that about you. Late for class? Out in the sun somewhere? Earth, sky, and spirit. Thank you, brother. Isn't that something? But brethren, think about that. And anyone looking at this video, will you look at that? That is just beautiful. That overstanding. That's the OAHSPE Bible right there. I hope one of the 4 horsemen is looking at this. You can lay out an Israelite with that, man. You could just, you know what I'm saying? But you just look at that, man. See, this is the Jesus Christ, the loud voice. If it is that of Jesus Christ, this is the wise Jesus Christ. This is the wisdom. This is Yeshua. This is Joshua right here to me. You see? And then that's what the theologians are finding, man, they are tearing the Bible apart, man. I'm telling you, man, they are tearing the Bible apart. They can't find a contemporary for this Jesus Christ. You know why? Because the Spirit wouldn't let them. The Spirit wouldn't let them. It would not allow any contemporary sources for the reality of Jesus Christ. There are no contemporary sources for the witness of Jesus Christ. Did you guys know that? Did you really know that? See? And then this verse right here, it's another way to create. See, the Creator is glorifying Himself. He made this narrative speak wisdom, but He also exposes the lie of Luamong that it was that Jesus Christ was, I don't know how to put it, real. He was a real person. I'm still trying to figure out how to define Jesus Christ, but He would not let antiquity give a contemporary, like people who saw Him grow up or what He said, what He did, and they can't place Him at the same place at the same time. And that is astounding. But yet the Creator makes Him speak wisdom. He makes the narrative of Luamong speak wisdom at different points, different times. But He also makes the picture of Jesus Christ problematic. See, Dave says, check out these verses. Okay, you got some verses you want to share? All right. See, I'll have to go into the reading. If you, brethren, you have something, I just wanted to break and share this because, it might not have struck anybody else the way it struck me. That's the OAHSPE Bible right there. See, that Leo talent, man, to be center stage. Worship the one who made heaven and earth, the sea and springs. He said, fear God and give Him glory. So that's mysterious. I mean, we know that that's problematic, that statement. It should take fear the Creator, Fear Creator, give Him glory. But, we can kind of, I don't want to say we can excuse it in this case. We can, we know what it means, as a faithist. We can see this, we can properly translate it. How about that? Let me see. Now, Dave said, OAHSPE, look at Book 7, Chapter 3. All right. Let's look at Book 7, Chapter 3 in OAHSPE. Book 7, Chapter 3. All right. Book 7, Chapter 3, verse 18. All right. Book 7. Book 7. Now let's look at Chapter 3. All right. And then go to verse 18. It says, what is so conceited? Let's make the letters bigger. What is so conceited is man? Okay. What is so conceited? Is this right? Book 7, Chapter 3. Yeah. What is so conceited is man, and yet I bring him into life, the dumbest of animals. Man prides himself in his power and wisdom. I send the drought, the rains, winds. Oh! He got me. He got me. Oh, he got me. What is so conceited as a man? And yet I bring him into life, the dumbest of animals. Man prides himself in his power and wisdom. I send the drought, the rains, and winds, the weakest of my members, and they show man he is nothing. So also do my gods and lords of the lower heaven become conceited in their power and wisdom. But with the turn of a word, their heavens fall. Billions of souls turn from order and high estate into confusion and anarchy. Thus, I confound men and angels in their seeming misery, lay the foundation for an everlasting good. The voice ceased. So now, book 9, chapter 2, verse 12. Okay. Book 9, chapter 2, verse 12. So let's look at that. Book 9, chapter 2, verse 12. All right. Book 9, chapter 2, verse 12. All right. Let's make the words bigger. Book 9, chapter 2, verse 12. It says, but in Etheria, Jehovah spoke to his Orion chiefs, saying, oh, so this is going back to the question we had earlier in the chat that Mahalia was, she brought out about, I made a statement about trials, and she stated she didn't, I think she was saying something like, we don't get tried, or so we looked at it, or she said something, I forget. Let me go back up real quick, see what Mahalia said while we went down. Let me see. I don't think the Creator tests us. He gives us truth to keep learning. Okay, so then that got us started about trials and, whether we get tested. And so now Dave is addressing, he's addressing that point. And here it says, Jehovah, it says, as I try mortals. So it's another confirmation that he does try mortals. He does try us. And then the other verse, Dave, let me see. Let me try to find it. The other verse, 7, Asham, I don't know if I brought out what you wanted me to bring out. Let me share it real quick. What is it that you wanted me to focus on? What did you want me to focus on? Because let's see, what is so conceited as man? And yet I bring into life the dumbest of animals. Man prides himself in his power and wisdom. I send the drought, the rains and winds, and the weakest of my members. Now, I don't know what point that you wanted me to make with this, Dave. I thought it was interesting where it says the rain, the drought, and the winds, but I don't know what point you wanted me to make with this, Dave. If you want to come on and tell me, let me put the link in the room too. I've got to put the link in. Or in case anybody wants to come on and contribute to what's being said here. Let me put the link in the room real quick. Hey, Nazarene, brother. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for checking in, brother. Okay, now, let me see. Ace and F wants to go to Psalm 84. Hey, Dave, I don't know what point that you wanted me to make with this. If you can put it in the chat. Was this addressing the testing of man? Was it addressing Revelation 14:7 somehow? Or Tell me the point that you wanted me to make with this post. I don't know what the. Uh, okay. The conceit of angels and mortals and how, and how the Creator tries them. Thank you. Okay, I see. What is so conceited as man, and yet I bring him into light, the dumbest of animals. Man prides himself in his power and wisdom. Boy, ain't that the truth, man. I send the drought, the rains, and the winds, the weakest of my numbers, and they show man he is nothing. So man gets proud. He prides himself in his knowledge. He lifts himself up and creators. In order to smack him down, he sends the weakest. He sends the weakest of his members. And he calls the drought, he calls the rains, he calls the winds, the weakest of his members. He puts a man in the middle of a tornado. The tornado picks him up off the ground. The man starts crying for his life. And then the Creator, he gently sets him down. He sends the weakest of my members, and it humbles a man. You know, that's a good one, man. How the Creator, he tries them. He tries them. He tries them. So also do my gods and lords of the lower heaven become conceived, and now we turn it into gods and lords. He said, but with the turn of the word, their heavens fall. Billions of souls turn from order and high estate into confusion and anarchy. Thus I confound men and angels, and in their seeming misery lay the foundation for an everlasting good, and the voice ceased. Yeah, I like that. I like those two witnesses, man. And the Creator, he says in the other word, the other that we looked at, he says, I try, men. I try them. But in the theory, Jehovah spoke to his Orion chief saying, now that was a little miracle that just happened. It just took the verse away from me. It just took it away. The computer literally just took the verse away from me. Look at that. It's nowhere to be found. I don't even know what happened. It just took it. I didn't even hit anything. It did. It got jealous and took it away. Look at that. It ain't nowhere to be found. Ain't that something? But anyway, we got the point. Creator says he does try men. Yeah, the conceit of angels or mortals and how Creator tries men. All right, and then let me see. Asenath, she wanted me to go to Psalm 8:4. Okay. Let's go to Psalm 8:4. Psalm chapter 8, verse 4. Let's see what she's got. It says, what is man that you're mindful of him, and the son of man that you care for him? All right, let's go to the verse. So we want the verse. Psalm 8:4. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? Okay, is that what you wanted, Asenath? What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? Should we read the whole chapter or something else? What is the point? That all wisdom, that all wisdom is from above and is perfect and good. The Bible says he uses the weak things of the world to show his strength, but the Bible says he does not test man. Oh yeah? The Bible says he does not test man. I mean, it would sound right in that it's problematic, but Let no man say when he is tempted, I'm tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted to any man. Yeah, but tempted and testing are two different things. Temptation is not, temptation is different than testing. But yeah, all wisdom from above. OAHSPE is clear on that. Yeah, temptation is different from testing. See, let's see if we can learn something. Okay. Is temptation different from testing? In the Bible, temptation and testing are often discussed together, but they have different origins and purposes. Okay. It says temptation is an enticement to disobey God. Temptation can come from the world, the flesh, or the devil. It can be opportunity to relapse. Giving in can lead to feelings of failure. Temptation can also be a way to test our faith and love for God. Okay. I mean, I see, you know, I think in my mind, I look at temptation as something that is meant to make you fall, primarily like, say, a woman tempts a man, and that's for evil purposes. But testing, so yeah, I see your point. They can be synonymous. I think the context is everything. You know, context is everything. I don't think God tests men with evil, and temptation can fall under that category. You know what I mean? I was tempted to do this or I was tempted to do that. And I don't think, I think even the Bible says that. Um, oh, okay. Well, the verse you posted, it says that. But it says cannot be tempted with evil. But I don't think that the Creator tempts us to do something evil in order to test us. You know what I mean? I think that the context is everything. When the OAHSPE talks about testing, and if you want to even add tempting, I think that it's for our upliftment, it's for our strength. And there's a temptation in the world to make you weak in the sense that you go against what your better judgment tells you to do. You know what I mean? Your conscience. I think there's a temptation that asks you to go against your conscience. And there's a testing that has nothing to do. Well, it does have something to do with conscience, but it has more to do with more your character. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's a fine line. I think Christ was tempted to do evil. I think that testing is for a different purpose. So, hey, it could be, I could be wrong. All right. So we concluded a couple of things, whether or not we get tested. We talked a little bit about the HADAN fields, and I didn't go into the lesson of the HADAN fields, but I do know that it says it's a place in atmosphere. I didn't really flesh out the position of the Faithist in the HADAN fields. I see a difference between the HADAN fields for the Faithists and HADAN fields for the uh, I would say the others who are not Faithists. I was going to bring out that Baal, that he is talked about as being in the HADAN fields, and I wanted to go into how he treats his servants. And Baal, if I'm not mistaken, is the Middle Eastern area. And I wanted to talk about him because Baal talked about, he shows his attitude. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it real quick before I close the video. And I wanted to use this video as a warning to the beast kingdom of how he says if you end up going into his kingdom, how Baal. Now I could be wrong, man, because it talked about what happens to spirits in the afterlife who are up under one of the false gods. That's what I wanted to bring out. Baal tells you how he telling you how he's going to treat you. You know, if the OAHSPE is true, man, then this we we need to think about this. Well, let me see if I can find it. All right. Hey, Jamia. All right, Jamia. Good to see you. It's good to see you, Jamia. Let me see. Now, I'm looking for that part where Baal said, he said some pretty rough things, man. I think that this might be it right here. After him, Baal spoke. Now, I'm jumping in the middle here of this chapter. I'm jumping in the middle here. I'm at the end of the video. So I'm going to try to get to the meat of the matter and talking about the Hayden fields and for religion. Let's see, Dave, he's got something. He says, okay, yeah, all atmosphere is considered Hayden fields. The higher plateaus, you will find true God and his host, right? And I wanted to give out what Baal says about what his part of the Hayden fields was going to be like. Because the beast kingdom, the Christians and Mohammedans and the Buddhists and the Hindu and religion, I'm adding and religion. Basically, he's telling you what he's going to do to you. And it says, let me see, I erased all of my study, man, right at the start, man, shoot. I think I was going to bring this out. It says, after him, Baal, whose heavenly kingdom was over HADAN. Now, shoot, I did a study on HADAN, and HADAN is, I forget. HADAN. Over HADAN, shoot, I can't remember. HADAN. I think HADAN is like Atmospheria too. It says, after him, Baal spoke, whose heavenly kingdom. So they were all gathered together, the false gods. And like they had some type of council or something. Oh, thanks. You know what? Yeah, HADAN, it sounds like Greece too, Yeah, HADAN, Greece. Thanks, Dave. It says, and after him, Baal, whose heavenly kingdom was over HADAN, the south end of Japheth, China, to the sea, a young lord of great promise. The heavens over Greece. Okay, HADAN. After him spoke Baal, whose heavenly kingdom was over HADAN and the south end of Japheth to the sea, a young lord of great promise. He said, how shall one of my inexperienced speak before such gods as are here? But because you have touched upon a matter dear to my soul. So he's talking about himself. How shall one of my inexperience speak before such gods as are here? The deference these false gods show to even one another is really puzzling, man. I mean, they seem to humble themselves and talk absent of pride. Let's go on. It says, but because you have touched upon a matter dear to my soul, my words will come forth. I've seen all these heavens, and even Creoshebe, that's the land of the chosen, if I'm not mistaken, waning for hundreds of years. Our kingdoms are like old women, resigned to routine, living but dead. We have the same rites and ceremonies as the ancients, parades, salutations, and anthems sung for thousands of years. And who? A figurehead that is void of shape, person, and sense, who here has not deserved honor more than such a being, my Lord. So this is not what I was going to share. I wanted to talk about what he said was going to happen in HADAN. Actually, the term was HADAN. Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? Flattery is better. This is not really. Uh, it's like more like self-deprecation. It's not really out of sincerity. It's more flattery. Yeah, they do that a lot too. Now, I can't. I'm not going to probably be able to find the verse I'm looking for. Let me look. Let me try. Let me go. Let me look at a couple more verses because he basically says he's going to abuse his subjects or fifth Ubal shall be ruler over Helestia and her heavenly kingdom, and your title shall be Baal, and are the first rank God of the earth. Six you Asherah. So doggone it, this ain't it either. I'm doing some searching here. Uh, all right, looks like I ain't gonna be able to find the. I think it was Book of I'm just doing a little word search real quick. It's one particular verse I want to get to. Okay, oh, did I just pass it? No, I think about it a lot, man. I ain't gonna be able to get to it. I don't know where it's. I didn't write it down. I clicked off of it right at the beginning of the video. All right, shoot, man. That's all right. I got to bring it out some other time. But what he said was talking about making his subjects servants. Talking about he was talking about after they crossed over, after people had died and gone to his kingdom. He basically said, "I'm going to send you back and put you to work, bringing in more, being a influential spirit or whatever they do to influence." Same thing for Christianity, to influence mortals to come to whatever false god's kingdom, to influence people. You're gonna, these people. He uses those. Christianity, I imagine that it's speaking about Baal here. I'm thinking that the other false gods in the Hayden fields are the same way, that they take those that subscribe to them and he takes them and sends them back as slaves to work for his kingdom. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. Well, okay, shoot, man, my fault. I, you know, had it all set up and I clicked off of it like it. Well, So let me open it up at least. Maybe, if anybody wants to come on, you want to share or say something, then now's the time to do it. Let me put the link in the room again. If y'all want to I'm not going to be on tomorrow. So the Bible study is tomorrow. So I'll be joining them. So the best I can do now is just, if y'all want to come in and share anything or say, something that we didn't cover earlier. So I wanted to, I named the title of the video "The Hated Slaves" because all I wanted to do was really point out the danger of a danger again of religion and how people are really going to go. See, it's like from what I can and studying for this, I came to the conclusion that we are under some kind of blessing, man. Because it seems like the creator is saying that when they when they go into captivity to the beast, they don't come out of it until, well, the OAHSPE itself, it says it could take like 1,000 years. It could take 100 years. It could take 1,000 years. And, serving a false God. I think to myself, man, it can't mean what it's saying. There's got to be some misunderstanding that I've got. I mean, do they really cross over and then they immediately go into captivity and you have to serve that? And I imagine it's a long period of time where you sitting there, you might not even know that you up under captivity before you get the knowledge that you can come out of there or you will come out of there. And so it seemed like the creator, he's saying that for those of you brethren who are waking up, not only does he deliver you from captivity, but it's like we can hit the ground. I guess I'm trying to say that it appears that the creator is saying that we can start at the finish line instead of start at the beginning in our spirituality. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it seems like the opportunity is to evolve to be, when we are born again, to be evolved way above a certain level. Now I know that's not important to the world. It should be to a faithist though. I mean, so at looking at the Hayden fields is like you blow your opportunity in this reality, and then you have to go to that reality to accomplish what you could have accomplished in this reality. Now, there's a verse where it says that you're going to have to accomplish there without money what you could have accomplished here with money. Does anybody remember that verse? Is that what that verse is saying? It sounds like that verse is saying when you are under a better opportunity to evolve and you didn't do it, now you're going to have to do it under a harder reality. Remember that? Does anybody remember where that verse is in the OAHSPE? Where it says you're going to have to do, now that's just what's coming to my mind, but I could be wrong. It just seems that that's what the spirit, I hate to say the spirit, the creator, I don't like to refer to that, but I don't know what else to attribute it to. The angel, that's the meaning of that verse. There's a verse where it says you're going to have to accomplish without money that which you could have accomplished with money. Does anybody remember where that's at? I tried to look for it before the video. I couldn't find it. And what the meaning of that is? I guess I could try one more time. I think there's a blessing in that. I think there's a blessing if I could just find that, man. How about if I use the word accomplish? I think that was part of the verse. Let me see. Jamia says, I don't remember reading that. Yeah, wait till I find it. Let me see if I can find it. Interesting. It's an interesting verse, man. It's something you got to chew on and think about. It's worth trying to find it. Might be too many words, though. Now, I'm doing a word search for it. And part of the verse it says like you're going to have to accomplish without money what you could have with money. Now, I'm looking for it right now. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute, Dave. I think Dave's got it. I didn't see that. All right, let's look at that. See, Jamia says, but I've always had the understanding that we receive the same lesson until we master it. Just might involve different people or situation. All right, let me see what Dave's got. Let me see what Dave has got there. Yeah. Now, I could be wrong in my assumption of what that verse means, but I think, let's see, 32, chapter 31. All right. Let's go to 31. Chapter 31. Now, what I'm doing here is in talking about the HADAN fields and the what Baal, the verse that I was trying to look for, what he seemed to say seems to go along with what I'm looking for right here. Let's see, 31 verse 7. Okay, here it is. And this is the penalty for neglecting on earth to fulfill the light which was given to you. Okay, and this is the penalty for neglecting on earth to fulfill the light that was given to you. You shall in heaven. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, brother. Yeah, let me put that in the chat. Thanks, brother. Yeah, that's it. He let me see. I don't think it let me see, I think it chops it up. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. Thanks, brother. And this is the penalty for neglecting on earth to fulfill the light that was given to you. You shall in heaven accomplish without money what you could have done with money. And the difference it requires to do a thing without means as compared to what might be done by one with means is the extra bondage and duration that should be upon your head and soul. Now, I brought this out Switch tabs. Oh, y'all can't see this? Y'all can't, it says that y'all can see it. Can y'all see this? Dave, you might have to go to the penalty box. Can y'all see this? My screen says I'm showing it. This way send you to the penalty box, bro. Can you see that? Somebody type a 1 if you can see this screen here. Can you see? Can y'all see me scrolling the screen up? I got you on this one, brother. I got you. I got you. I got you. Somebody type 1 if you can see the screen. Can you see? Can somebody? Oh, okay. He was. See, he knew he had me. He thought he had me. I was late. I barely beat Jamia. I barely beat her. She almost had me too. See? Oh, Yikequab, don't sell him short, man. Don't sell old Yikequab short. He may be getting older and afflicted, but he's still light on his feet. Okay. Oh, I love you, brethren, man. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Thanks, brother. This is exactly it. Now, I was saying that this verse came to my mind when talking about the HADAN fields, and I was talking about Baal, and specifically, there was a verse where basically he said, once I get a hold of you, I'm going to work you. I'm going to work you in my kingdom, and you ain't going to have no knowledge of, now it's not, these are me using my words. And then this verse here came to my mind about the Creator is saying that, let me see, what book is this? Okay, Judgment. And it's God that's saying these things. And then verse 7, it says, and this is the penalty for neglecting on earth to fulfill the light that was given to you. You shall in heaven. Now, I think that this could be talking about a God or a false God, actually. Now I think about it. Maybe it's talking about a false God. Let's read and see what. But when you read about Baal and what his kingdom is going to be like, it fits this. It's like he's going to increase the bondage of something you could have did in this reality, but you didn't, and now you're going to have to accomplish it in the spiritual reality, and it's going to be tougher. That's what this verse seemed to be saying. It says, and this is the penalty for neglecting on earth to fulfill the light that was given to you. You shall in heaven accomplish without money what you could have done with money. And the difference it requires to do a thing without means as compared to what might be done by one with means is the extra bondage and duration. See? The duration, man, that shall be upon your head and soul. It says, to all men who set out with the promise to accomplish charity or any good for the resurrection or amelioration, that means to make a situation better, of man, and fail to do it, the same judgment shall be upon them in heaven. Nor shall they rise above the first resurrection until they fulfill the same in all particulars. In this way, they shall judge themselves in heaven. Is it not sufficient for you, O man, to say? Or it says, it is not sufficient for you, O man, to say, I did not see my way clear as to the best method of doing a thing, so I waited. The commandment of Jehovah is upon you to do what you can, according to your highest light and ability to accomplish. In this respect, then, you shall find no excuse because you did not know the best way. Neither does it matter that the amount of your riches is less than another man's riches. Or shall you find an excuse in saying, I did more according to my means than my neighbor did? Wow. It says, one man shall not be judged by another, but all shall be judged according to the light of Jehovah in them according to what he has given them. Judgment is a serious book, man. He seems to be saying, there's a verse in the Bible where it says the Lord doesn't count slackness. It sounds like this is what this is saying here. It sounds like all of this is saying what's in the Bible. In that one particular passage. We're talking, the Lord, The Lord doesn't count slackness as some men count slack, but is not willing that any should perish, but that all men should repent. It says in the Bible. And it kind of harmonizes with what we're reading right here. The Creator seems, verse 7 is what came to my mind in talking about Hadan and the captivity, the false gods. It seems like Creator is saying, you shall accomplish in heaven without money. In other words, it's going to be tougher now. I'm sorry I'm redundant, but that's why I come out, man, against the beast. The beast at least come out of that, man. Because it's like he's saying it's going to be harder for you to come out. It's going, it's like you got money right now, which is your corporality. You come out now. You got brethren all around you saying, hey, the Baptists are coming out with this message. And it seems like when you're up under your false god, you ain't got nobody telling you, hey, it's going to be, it sounds like the Creator is saying that you have to come to a realization on your own that this is now I don't know if it's on your own. Personally, I think that there's some vehicle in the spiritual, like Ethereal gods and goddesses that deal with people. I could be wrong, man. What do you brethren think? I think that there are Ethereal gods, lords, and angels who still, they like ministered, they to spirits who have gone into captivity. Because we read, I think in like Frag Patty, where the Creator, he sends a god and the god makes a beeline and the Creator have to say, wait, build build a habitation for him first. Don't bum rush build a habitation for him first and then go get him and bring him here. It sounds like that's the way the Creator is. He don't just leave them hanging on the vine. But he do say here, he say, this makes you think. You know what I mean? Really, all of these chapters right here. At least these verses we looking at, what do y'all think? At least so far as verse 7 is saying. Do it here while you got money, man. Well, I think what he's saying, accomplish what you can and what you purpose to do. You purpose to walk this walk and best of your life, go ahead and do it. Do it with money. Because it seems like it's easier here than there. Now, I could be wrong, So let me see. Thanks, Dave. Thank you. Asan says perpetual recycling until no one is destroyed. Yeah. That reminds me of the Creator. I don't think anybody ends up lost. There's a Bible or there's a something in the Bible where it talks about I read somewhere, I think it was in the Third Testament, where it said the question was put to Jesus Christ, or he said something in there where if God lost anything, if the Creator lost anything, it wouldn't be Creator. Wouldn't be Creator. And a person, now I do recall, it brings to mind something else. Do some spirits go into dissolution? Some spirits go into dissolution, don't they? Have y'all heard of that? Some spirits, they go into dissolution, right? Nothingness, is that right? Dissolution. I even read or some people like it in hell. ND OAHSPE. Did y'all know that? Some spirits like it there. Did y'all know that? Did anybody know that? It makes me wonder if I really did read that. I do think I recall reading that. It's kind of weird to me. you certainly see it in this reality. It's like there are people who can't live without some type of, you know, without some type of, what's a good word for trouble? What's a good word for evil doing? What's a good word for, um, let me see, a word for someone who likes walking on the dark side, like a criminal environment. Love it, love that type of vibration. They're under that vibration where, they just darkness. They like it there. They like that type of, bullets flying over your head. you you know, but I did read where, that some people, they like it there. In hell. I have to check that out. I have to revisit that, see if I really did read that. I think I did though, but you rather go ahead and fulfill the light that you have here than have to do it without money. Is the point that I was trying to make about the Hayden field seems to be harder to fulfill the light than it is here. So that's the best I can do for right now. I could be wrong, but just sharing what seems to be my best overstanding. So, brethren, if you guys don't have anything, then I guess I could go ahead and close the video. Let me see. Dave says, in the early days of the earth, some spheres did go into dissolution. Okay, the early days. It says, however, this is not the case in this time frame. Okay, thank you. In the early days of the earth, some spheres did go into dissolution. Some days in early days, yeah, okay. So, wow, that's a trip. Some spheres did go into dissolution. However, this is not the case in this time. Okay. Chaos. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for, actually. That's the word that I saw or I read about. And there are people like that in this reality. I've known women who like to walk on the wild side. I mean, you know, I could have easily convinced them. It would have sounded good to them if I would have said, well, not all of them, but a couple girls that I knew, they would have been right with me if I'd have said, hey, you know what, let's rob a bank. They would have done it with me. I'm positive, man. You know, there are those. I mean, that if a guy is like that, it don't strike me. You know what I mean? But if a woman is like that, it just, you know what I mean? It's hard for that to register with me. Yeah, mischievous. There are people, some women get off on that. You know, one step ahead of the law, man. You know, like that type of vibration. That's why there's a lot of guys, you remember the song, what's the name of the song? Bad boys, you make me feel so good. There's a lot of truth in songs, There's a lot of truth, man. About, the badder the guy is, the more that women want him. I remember it was like that a lot growing up. Guys was getting booted out of school, you know, smoking weed in the elevator, selling weed at school, Brother was never alone, visiting him in jail while you sat at home alone. That's this world for you. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't get it, but the OAHSPE, he talks a lot about the human spirit, you know. Trouble is very addictive to a lot. They like it, you know. They like taking chances. You see it all the time too. People risking death. One guy, I saw a video, he jumped off of a cliff and he was positive his parachute was going to open till he smashed himself against the ground. Taking chances like that all the time, flirting with death, man, and they get a kick out of it. And Ball, he sit there saying, hey, I'm waiting for you, brother. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, man. You go ahead and, Oh, yeah, Asenaf? Asenaf says, that used to be me. Yeah, I know a lot. I'm telling you, man, I know a few people they had that lawless streak in them. They had that outlaw streak in them. They get off on it. They get a kick out of it. So anyway, that's the best I can do for now, brethren. No video tomorrow. I'll be in Bible study. So, Creator willing, Thursday, Friday, I pick it up again. Man, oh man, Thank you, EOE. Thank you for blessing the video, for brethren coming in, sharing. All right, brethren. So if there's no last words, then let me go ahead and bid thee farewell. Thank you for joining me again. No video tomorrow, so I'll pick it up Wednesday. I want to give thanks to the Creator for helping me and to have this opportunity to share the things that I pray that He is giving me to share. And the pleasure is all mine. Again, thank you, brother, for joining me. And until I see you again, peace, love, light, wisdom, and knowledge to all of you. Shalom.